and a few. We living in a century where we living on lies. Society said the girls and we have to comply. We gonna pay the dues, we don't get reviews. Not how we get broken and we fall into the news. But they tell all the brothers that we gonna take a stand. Represent hope, bringing in the brand. We gonna take a brother hand in hand. Empower any things, every boy, every man. Learn me. I just want to read my life slowly. Look close, you gonna is how we do it. Cause we talk the truth to power. Walking in the spirit, walking in the water. Happy that we blessed. Full 100, walking in forgiveness. Full 100, healing from disease. Full 100, totally redeemed. Full 100, strength of the youth. Full 100, friendly with the truth. Full 100, free from affection. Full 100, are we on a mission? Full 100.
Hello, good evening, my people. Welcome to Mike at Night. Nice to have you all on and good to be back. Let me tell you that last week we had a rerun because I was out of the country. I had a wonderful time in St. Lucia. Let me say hello to the people in St. Lucia who treated me so well. I was well taken care of. We had a wonderful session there in camping with young people. And I know that some of you all messaged me. You missed the program. I hope you had got the rerun. I think I ran the rerun, two reruns. One I ran on Wednesday last week, thinking Wednesday was Thursday because I lost track of the week. And then I ran it a different one on the Thursday. So you would have had two Mike at Nights last week. If you didn't get that, you could go back to it. All right. I am in my office today, as you'll recognize. Normally I would transmit from home, so you'll see the Mike at Night in the background, etc. We don't have that today. For some reason, internet is down at the home, and so I'm at the office today, so we are doing it from here. Alright, so let me just say hello to some people who are in. We usually tell you people, rock and come in, man, people, all rock and come in. We like to have you all on. So let me say hello to those who are with us. Randall Fields. Randall Fields is on the island. Good evening to you, Randall. Nice having you. Welcome home. I'm not even going to say welcome to Tobago. Welcome home. Charmaine, nice having you. I hope you gave them my good regards in the next session that you might have been on. Lenora Francis Moses, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us. Lawrence, nice having you. Kenneth Hodge, or regular. Timothy Benjamin, thank you very much for your welcome back. Edwin Tulsi, thank you very much. So all of you all, happy to have you all on. So rock and come in, people, have a seat. We're going to talk about when the sexual appetites differ between the two people. Now, those of you who are in relationship, those of you who are married will know that there is usually this lack of syncing between when you want it and when the person you are with want it. Let's see if we could dive into what causes some of these differences that could cause some irritation in the relationship. So let's deal with it from a biological standpoint. What is something called circadian rhythm? Circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm. Circadian is, there is a time that your brain recognizes that night has come in, and your brain begins to shut down. And that rhythm that you have, if you are accustomed going to bed at a certain time, from the time that time reaches, your circadian rhythm kicks in for you to go to bed. If you have trained yourself to go to bed very late, you're upsetting that circadian rhythm, and you will be up late and may not get to be tired until that time reaches. This is one of the reasons why hotels have these dark blinds, because people who have been traveling a lot and sometimes travel through timelines may have been traveling during the day, cross a timeline, and now they are in the night. It's supposed to be night, but they have now gone into another timeline that is daylight still. So they are carrying two daylights. So many times the hotels would have these dark nights and dark rooms so that you'll get a chance to be able to mimic the brain thinking it is night. And you could make the adjustment by opening the blinds, etc. So that circadian rhythm also affects us in our sexual situation. There are some people very night type person. There are some people daylight. They call it the morning larks and the night owls. So these patterns affect how we feel sexually. Now, if you are a night person like I am, I could go up to late hours at night. So I am a night person, a night owl general. So I would more prefer, if I'm going to have sex, it got to be in the night. I'm just telling you. Yeah. Right? So now you know. But you see this wake up in the morning 5 o'clock or wake up 3 o'clock to be able to do that? I ain't in that. No. Once I go to bed, I go to bed. So you may find that a woman is married to a man who is a night owl and he wants sex in the night, but she's tired in the night. She prefers to go and sleep first and then wake up in the morning. And that she may prefer. Or she may be married to a man who wants to sleep in the night because he works hard, he's stressed out, and he wants to be able to wake her up 4 o'clock in the morning, and she gets angry. So that might be one of the reasons why we do have this mix-up that takes place in the rhythm that manifests itself in the relationship. Alright? So we're going to talk about some strategies after. So once you understand that, that chronotype is what it is called, the chronotype of it. Frida Leaks, good evening, thank you very much. Orville Melville and you all. Patricia Bernard, thank you very much for joining us. Nice having you on. Yes, Rainy Bob Williams, Nicole Guy. Nice having all of you all. Alright, so that rhythm, and both of you have been in relationship know that you all have had some argument about you're tired and you want to sleep, but your partner wants to have sex. Or you're taking in a good sleep and your partner come and disturb that good night sleep to come and tell you what you consider trash, to come and tell you them want a little thing. It don't go down too nice. Right? But that is life. So that influence, the body's internal clock regulates more than just sleep. It actually regulates your sexual interest and your sexual appetite. So if all you want, all you could tell me which one you all are. I mean, these are open world now. I tell all of what mine is. All you could tell me what all is. Are you a morning person or an evening person? Let me see who brave enough to expose their business. Morning or evening person. Just say that morning or evening and I would know what you mean. You prefer it in the morning or prefer it in the evening. And I don't care what age you are. Because that has nothing to do with age. You understand? Morning or evening. Morning or night, any one of them. Alright, so while I'm waiting on you all to put that, let me go on to the second one. As far as that mismatch is concerned, where we have the individual, relationship, and context. Those factors: individual, who you are, relationship with the person, and the context that we're talking about. Let me explain. First, as far as the individual differences is concerned, sexual desire is shaped by your attraction to the person. That connection, that hormone that rises when you're around the person. Right? Also, it could be affected by your stress level, your sense of self, your self-esteem, your mental health. So let me explain how that works. Charmaine says it doesn't matter to her, man. Take it night or day. Thank you, girl. You are a nice one. Right. Individually, if you're feeling attractive to your spouse, you are likely to be open to sexual engagement. But if your attraction to the spouse is not there, you have to work yourself to want to have sex. Sometimes it starts off originally liking the person and attracted to the person, but over time, your spouse may have lost their sexual appeal. They may have gotten too big, too fat, too out of shape, as some people say, and you don't feel as though you are engaged with the person. Then that would go to affect that mismatch with the sexual appetite. Do you really want to have sex with this person? It may become routine. That is what it may be. And so let me just remind people, as we're talking about that, sometimes you need help. And that number that you see at the top is the number you have to call if you want to have an appointment to start dealing with some of these things. Don't leave your marital relationships in abeyance because you are not dealing with some things that are beginning to show itself. Right? Timothy said night is for him. Might have to pull an all-nighter, but as long as he get it, he happy. Alright? Well, you see? Nicely. So me and you are the same boat, Timothy. Good. Right? So that is what? Attraction is going to be an aspect that will determine the sexual appetite of a person. The other aspect that we need to look at is the aspect of hormones. There are some people who their hormonal balance precludes them from wanting sex and having this sexual appetite. In the converse, there are some people, their sexual appetite is really heightened by their hormones. If you go to a doctor and you do your medical thing, you might be able to find out that the doctor might be able to tell you your hormonal levels are really low, and that is why you're having a problem in having a desire for sex. But some people don't want to find out, some people don't go to find out, some people just don't like doctors, and that is an unfortunate thing because your spouse is going to be suffering in some way or the other. There are some people, their appetite is much larger than normal. So when the average, they said, is about 2 to 3 times per week is the average healthy relationship for sex. 2 to 3 times per week. But there are some people, 2 to 3 times per day is what their appetite can stand. And they can run for days doing that. If you are married to such a person or in a relationship with such a person, could you imagine what you may have to do to keep up with that person? After a while, you begin to fake it in order to make it. And they said that 8 out of 10 women fake orgasm. That's what some people say in the writings that they put. Good evening, people. Yeah. I'm still waiting for people to tell me whether they prefer it night or day. Nighttime or morning time. And some people like it broad daylight. Some people like it in the shadows of the dark. Alright. So, hormones is one. Stress levels. There are some people, if they are stressed out, the more sex they want. Because sex is a stress reliever. If you are married to a person like that, then you would want to have sex to release your stress. If your partner is not amenable to that, doesn't understand that, your partner may shut you down because they may think that you are being unfair and not being considerate of wanting to have sex when you are stressed out and they are stressed out, because when they are stressed out they may not want sex, and when you are stressed out you want sex, right? Because some people, if they are stressed out, they don't want it. Alright, I hope you're all following. Your self-esteem also is going to affect you as an individual in wanting sex. If you are not happy with your body, you don't think that you have a good body, you're not happy with your size, you're not happy with your scent, you're not happy with your state of cleanliness, etc., for one reason or the other, you may come home, you're sweaty, you're smelling of gas after having fixed motor car all day, your wife may have been outside working all day and so on, she may not want to have sex. He may not want to have sex, but another person may not mind having sex even at that point in time. Yeah. That's the reality. So while it is a different stage for different people, we've got to appreciate that. Not all of us are the same. Alright? So, Julie Walters, what is it you're saying to? Tell me what is it that's going through your mind that you're saying, Julie? I really would love to know. Alright. Self-esteem. That self-esteem is what we just talked about. How do you feel about yourself? And then your mental health. There are some people, they are going through so much in their life, so much on their mind, so much on their thoughts, so much financial issues that they have, responsibility in the job, responsibility in the home, that they are really mentally fatigued, that sex does not get them going at all. But you may have another partner who's not going through that mental stress, who may want sex. And your other partner, he worked hard during the day, his wife is usually home, and she prepares and she likes to dance late at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, she likes to get up and dance and then after make love. He has been working all day, working hard, working manually, and comes home and he is burnt out. So for her to wake him up 1 o'clock to say that she wants to dance to music and then to have sex at all, he can handle that. Yeah. Charmaine, what Charmaine Boyle you about? Why are you not saying what is it? Or only sending me signals. My sister, Deanne Robinson, good evening. Nice having you on. Glad to have you. Alright. So we're talking about this mismatch in our relationship when it comes to the sexual appetite and so on. So we said one is the biological, where your circadian rhythm, your body clock, right? Whether you're a night or day person. Oh, Julie said she said for a man that likes sex too much. Yeah? Is that a good thing, Julie, or is that a bad thing? A man liking sex too much? I'd love to know. Charmaine boy say tired, no motion in the ocean. Alright. So the mental state of the person also is of crucial. Let's go now to the relationship dynamics. The longer relationships, the longer you're in a relationship, it is a high chance your sexual appetite will decline in long-term relationships. Right? So, if you have been eating the same food over and over again, it does not trigger your appetite as much as when you have not had that meal for a long time. That's the truth. Yes? She said, ew, because of the gas smell from the mechanic. That is reality, Charmaine. Bad thing, Julie says. She is none, neither for one way or the other. Okay, Julie, I can take that. So the longer you're in the relationship, it is going to decline. In fact, I'm trying to remember what is the effect they call it. The Kugel effect, I think it is. The Kugel effect. Where they put a cock in a pen with a hen, and the cock consistently traded the hen. After a while, it stopped trading the hen. It started to decline until it stopped. But when he put in a new hen, the cock started to trade as though he never hadn't traded for a long time again, because a new hen was introduced. And they are saying that this same kind of appetite exists with human beings. That if you're in the constant relationship and that you are in, you will start off hot and sweaty, anxious to be able to have sex, but after a while, it is like eating the same food for quite some time, and it's going to start to decline. That's why you always have to renew your interest in your spouse. Otherwise, a new spouse every time has to come in. But even in people who consistently are unfaithful, they may have their main spouse, and then they have somebody on the outside that triggers their sexual appetite. But even that and all gets boring. Even that and all begins to decline. So they need another one. This is why some people stay in relationship between 2 to 3 years. Sometimes some people stay in a relationship for about a year, etc. Or 5 years. They have a timeline that they stay before they want to move on, because of that same concept that they spoke about. I wonder if I could find it. I'll tell you what effect it is so that you all could go and look it up yourselves. Can't even find it there now. Okay. I'll have to look for it. I will have to look for it. I wish I had remembered it. Alright. Okay. Let's go. But I hope you all got it. Julie said people too greedy. Julie, what is it you're saying you don't agree with? Tell me. You want to call? The telephone number up there, you could call. Anybody who wants to call, you could just call that number that is up there, or if you want to private message me, you could private message me on WhatsApp. Right? Anyway. So if the relationship is going too long, and I'm not suggesting that people go on the outside of the relationship in order to trigger new excitement in sex, but I'm saying that it is a fact that the kind of anxiety and so on, and this is why the Bible gives you permission to stay away from your spouse for an agreed period of time. And the Bible says, lest you are tempted through incontinency, but you must agree. Because that hiatus, that separation for a while, creates its new excitement, so that when you come together again, if your spouse was out of the country, notice how it is when the person comes back, your excitement of sex, etc. takes place. If the person was sick or out of commission for a while, that also happens. Marcia says menopause can cause mixed match as well. Yes, Marcia, you are absolutely right. Thank you for bringing that one in. I'm not too sure I had considered that one, but you are correct. That could now cause, because mood swings taking place, while the man is not going through those mood swings and she is going through these hot flashes and so on, she may not be feeling up to the sex thing. Even though they said that when a woman is going through menopause, her sexual appetite is likely to be heightened because there is no fear of pregnancy again. So she goes with a clearer mind. So you have both sides of it that come to the fore. Alright? So, as we were saying, relationship dynamics, the longer you're in the relationship, the more your desire is likely to decline. How emotionally engaged you are to your spouse, because a lot of people are disengaged emotionally from their spouse. It is just routine business transactional relationship that exists, where we just talk about the bills, we talk about business and so on, but there is no romance and intimacy that take place. Julie, you want the scripture? Alright, so let me ask somebody to give you the scripture in the meanwhile. Thank you, Julie, for requesting it. And I suspect the scripture you're talking about is the one that says that you can afford to separate from your husband sexually for an agreed period of time, but not for a long period, lest the devil tempt you through your lack of self-control. Incontinence is the word the King James uses. So somebody would find it for you, Julie, I'm sure, and post it on the comments so that you could have it. Right. So we're going back to the relationship dynamics. In the meanwhile, communication also significantly influences desire. If you have a good communication, you all understand each other, you all get along, and you all can talk things openly and share, even as far as your sexual needs are. You could ask for it and the person will be willing and amenable to give you because you have asked for it. You could say that you're not up for it tonight and the person is understanding, empathetic enough to say, okay, darling, then we could forego this. We could probably try it tomorrow. Once that communication is there, the desire could increase. But also, because the person may want to reward you for being so considerate. But also you may find that because you don't have that good communication, you're always in quarrel and tete-a-tete and arguing and so on, it could cause the relationship to go into crisis. Alright? Stress and fatigue, that's another one. So some people could run for weeks not wanting sex, and they ask themselves, what is it that they lost interest in you? Is it that they don't like you again? It might be because they are just plain stressed out. That could lower their libido, that desire for sex. So it is not in a person's interest to stress themselves out, because you are actually affecting your own relationship on a very deeper level. It is also important for you to ensure that your spouse is not stressed out, so that you help them out of the issues that they are stressed out with, so that they would not be so stressed out that you can't have sex. But it is hard to help them out and still they don't give you sex. Mister. Alright. So, we dealt with that. Stress and fatigue. Some people turn to sex to unwind, while others lose interest when they are stressed. Two different types of people. Alright. So let's talk about the other part where we talk about socio-cultural influences. I find nobody and give Julie that scripture yet, you know. Julie, let me look for it for you, because I thought we had more people who would have been on the ball. Yeah. Alright. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 5, Julie. Let me post it there for you. 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 5. Alright. So, let me tell you what it says in the new NIV. Do not deprive each other, except perhaps by mutual consent and for a time, so that you may devote yourselves to pray. Yeah? The verse before that says, the wife does not have authority over her own body, but yields it to her husband. In the same way, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but yields it to his wife. So Paul is talking to the Corinthian church about their sexual relationship. In fact, verse 3 says, if you go with verse 1, now for the matters you wrote about me, they wrote Paul on the matter, on sex. It is good for a man not to have sexual relations with a woman. But since sexual immorality is occurring, each man should have sexual relations with his own wife, and each woman with her own husband. The husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife should fulfill her marital duties to her husband. I hope you get that. 1 Corinthians 7, 1-5. Nice. So, let's talk about cultural influences that affect our relationships. Culture also shapes our expectations when it comes to sex. Some women experience more sexual flexibility, meaning their drive may be more influenced by their relationship or societal factors, because you may find that a woman may think that she owes it to her husband to have sex. So she may have sex because of obligations, a spiritual Christian obligation and society obligation, but she may not very well want it. Probably this is why they said 8 out of 10 women fake orgasm. Right? Society may also tell a woman that she is not supposed to have sex with her husband if she doesn't feel to. But what the Bible is saying, that you are really to try and satisfy your spouse. And that means coming out of what your own requirement is to be able to serve the other person. And he says that both for the man and both for the woman. So you may find that the man may not be up to it, but his wife wants it. He would need to consider her wishes in that context. But I know that today's society says, nah, if you don't want it, let the person start. Anyway, let's continue. Spontaneous versus responsive desire. This is also another part, the desire types. Some people experience spontaneous desire. They just feel like it. Horny, as we say. You feel horny tonight. And you want it. That's spontaneous. And there are some people who really it is responsive, where it is after having been turned on that they want it. They did not get turned on their own, but they didn't think about it, but as they start to talk to them and play with them, they all of a sudden want the sex. So you have that responsive, spontaneous relationship. And both of them actually work well in the relationship, because you might find that somebody who's spontaneous, it works well that, hey, listen, the person just in the mood because their temperature got to the point that they want it. This might be the time that they ovulating, etc., and they want it. And there are some people, because of what you did to them, that they feel for it. Right? So both could work. Therefore, turn your partner on. Motivation. And they said that men often link sex to physical pleasure or to reproduction, while women emphasize emotional intimacy and relational bonds. In other words, a woman looks to the fact that she is emotionally attracted and engaged and connected to her man. And that is going to inspire her to be able to operate in a certain way. So that works well for her. She's emotionally connected and she feels she has a good relationship with a man. That is her motivation. What motivates men is the anticipation of pleasure more than relationship. Follow me here, ladies. Because a man anticipates pleasure, he might not even have a good relationship with a woman, but he's quite okay to have sex. You all hear me? He is quite okay to have sex because he anticipates the pleasure. Now, women don't understand that. Women think because a man feels excited to have sex with her, that he's in love. That don't necessarily fulfill truth. And I know men are going to support me with that. And women who have the experience will also know that that is also true. So what the research is saying, I think is good information that's put out there. Alright, let me see what people are saying here now. Julie said they're too greedy. Mike, they have to stop eating their food in the bedroom alone. Choose a different plate. Charmaine, girl, you touch a whole thing there. That we might have to do a whole program on that. Because people eating the same food for so long and they're doing the same routine thing, the sex becomes very mundane. Bedroom, same positions. You could anticipate the position. You could anticipate what the person is going to do. Creates the boredom. There's no risk. There's no suspense. There's no using of the kitchen, living room, etc. And that creates a serious boredom. Some of the most boring sex are in marital relationships. Yes, I said it. Some of the most boring sex are in marital relationships because people just drop things, and that's why people go into unfaithful relationships, because there's this suspense, motor car, back seat. You understand me? What prevents married people from doing that? Somebody said we stop playing not because we get old, but we get old because we stop playing. And a lot of time we stop playing in our relationships. Alright, so Charmaine, I agree with you, but we might have to do a whole new one on that one day only. Let me see. I think some of these scrolling too fast for me to follow. If you really know your spouse, there's always new and different ways of doing things. I agree, Hillary Richards. Good to see you, Grenada, in the house. I agree. There are over 100 sexual positions. People generally use 2 to 3 out of 100, and it's have more than 100, because the young people they invent some helicopter. Some of you should not try this helicopter business. It may unscrew your back. But anyway, I digress. So Hillary says, so if he or she comes tired or not tired, you should know how to go there or not. Knowing your partner is a key factor. Absolutely. Absolutely. Alright, Charmaine says she has a friend that went to the gazebo in the dead of night. What about your balcony? If your balcony is safe, your gallery is safe and it's overlooking place, and you take off your lights and so on, and under the moonlight. Man, let me tell you, we're too boring. Too boring. They said the people who sell these sexy clothes and lingerie says that they get more sales from single people buying some of these lingerie and newlyweds than from married people. Way too boring. Anyway, we're moving on. Where am I? Yes, we are talking about the spontaneous and responsive relationship. Hey, it's 8:45 already. Imagine that. Anyway, perception and when it comes to time, people experience time differently. So that also affects a person's sexual encounter. When one partner feels months have passed since they had any intimacy, another partner would feel that it was just recently. That different perception of time and subjective time, when you say, when last we had sex? We haven't had sex for a while. No, you may be thinking that the last time you had sex was 3-4 days ago. But for the next person, but that was just this week. It was this week. 3-4 days ago is still this week. So those two different perceptions cause us to be on two different wavelengths. Because for one person, 2 or 3 days ago is too far. You all hear me? Good Curtis Cox, you now walking in my class, Mr. Cox. What is this? Anyway, have a seat in the back there. Good evening to you. Rock and come in. Kenneth House said this session is much too rich for my blood. That's why you're quiet, so Kenneth. Curtis, somebody call you and tell you we're talking this kind of talk or what, Curtis? I'm giving all the proper information here, you know, as to some of the issues that we have in relationships because we're getting the sexual appetite wrong. We're not getting to mesh it. We're not getting to synchronize it. And that happens to be the perception. How can one person say, we had it recently, and the next one say we ain't have it for a while? Right? It's because of those two different types of perceptions. So, in the minutes that we have left, let me tell you some of the consequences of this sexual desire discrepancy issues that we're talking about. It puts a strain on the relationship. The greater differences in desire between the partners, the more you all are unlike each other, the more that you all are different in your likings, it is going to cause you to have a lower sexual relationship satisfaction level. It is going to reduce your stability in the relationship, and it is going to increase conflict, and it could very well lead one or more, both of you all, to seek to find somebody that you mesh with. Now, you may be married to somebody that somehow or the other you're not meshing sexually. You're not getting turned on by the person as you think you could. You're not getting to have an orgasm by your spouse. You're not getting it as often as you would like. But you may find that one of those people go to somebody who they're getting it more often to, and who they're getting it the way they like it. Because you may find the person you're married to, there's discrepancy in your ability to be able to synchronize your sexual appetite. Kenneth say cockroach have no business in fall party. Yeah, boy, you're right. One day you're going to be talking this big thing here as soon as you settle down in that relationship. Remember we had a talk last week on this thing, eh? One day you're going to be settling down and you're going to tell me differently. Right? So that's a relationship strain that we're saying is going to be on the relationship. And then you have an emotional impact besides just the emotional strain, where the partner with higher desire might feel rejected. And because they feel rejected, the other might feel pressured. Understand this? One person wants, and This next one, appetite is not that large, so they will decline. But the person who constantly wants will feel as though you have turned them down. And if you turn down somebody often enough, they would lose their appetite for you because they have been turned down too often. And that happens in a relationship where the person who wanted all the time no longer wants, or at least no longer wants from you. But you also have the other aspect where the person who does not want feel as though you keep harassing them to get, and they feel pressure. That humbugs the relationship. Let me just remind people, that telephone number that is on top of there is not for style. It's for people who really want to get some solutions to their issues. Call that. Call that number. You need help. 868-480-0080. And you can also message me on WhatsApp on that same number. If you want to even call in on the program tonight to say a piece, even if you disagree, yeah, you can afford to call in. Right, we're making good time now. So we talk about the relationship strain and the emotional impact whenever the sexual appetites don't mesh. Let me just, before I continue, let me see if I could just see what people are saying here. Ian, Jamaica in the house. Good to have you. You doing a series on sexual desires. Wow, good. It's good to see Christian preachers or preachers in general addressing this matter, Ian. So I'm very happy to know that you are addressing that. We usually make it a taboo when it comes to church. Alright, so congratulations. But then you are that type of person. You has really stretch the cord to get your message over. Alright. So you have that emotional impact. So let's talk about some strategies as we begin to close now. So you're getting your full counseling online one time. You pay a red cent for it. Number one strategy: have open, frank, honest discussion on the matter. If you are not happy, say so. If your appetite is not being satisfied, say so. But watch how you're saying it. Don't go and make it as a complaint. Don't go and make the person feel bad and insulted that you don't get turned on and they can't bring you, etc. Don't insult the person in the process. Choose your words carefully. Let it be with grace, seasoned with salt. Say it in a way that makes the person feel good while you're saying it. And you can do that by depositing first before you withdraw. Deposit means say something nice. Say, I've always loved when you did this to me when we're making love. Within recent times, I noticed you don't do it. I would like it if you could start that back. In other words, you're saying, right now, I don't get it. That is what you're saying. But you're saying it in a palatable way, a way that it can be digested. They used to do it, so they know that it worked. And you're just asking for it to start back. Okay? So, when you do that, talk things over about your desire, time when you're going to tell them. Don't drop it while you're having sex. Take the time in. And don't do it when you are quarreling by throwing it in the person's face as though you couldn't wait to insult them. And I just never enjoyed the thing in the night anyway, but you all are now quarreling about something else. No, you don't do that. That's reprehensible. So open communication. Second, schedule intimacy. Now we ain't saying scheduling sex. Schedule intimacy. Though some people schedule sex, I know there have been people who would say Tuesdays 8 o'clock, as though it's midweek Bible study. Anyway, Tuesday 7 o'clock, and they on clock work Tuesday 8 o'clock. Now, certainly that can't be. We spoke about spontaneity, we spoke about responsiveness. That is neither spontaneous nor responsive, but some people apparently it works for them. But you could schedule it, and you could plan this intimate time, which is really, intimacy is more than just having sex. It is that time of closeness and connection. You need to schedule that separate from your children and the family to keep your love life going. So, make sure that you do it and you select a time that you're unhustled and you're not running on the clock, etc. Synchronize that time. Thirdly, so 1 is open communication, 2 is scheduling intimacy, 3, non-sexual intimacy, which is cuddling, hugging, massaging, rude jokes, playfulness, that kind of thing. Arouse the person by the way you touch them, but not necessarily that you're aiming for sex, but you're just doing it just for the fun of it and so on. Non-sexual intimacy can help bring back some stuff in the relationship. Yeah. Manage stress and fatigue is your 4th one. Open communication, schedule intimacy, non-sexual intimacy also is the 3rd, and managing your fatigue. Take some time off and rest your body. Because if your body is burnt out, you cannot get a good climax. Rest yourself, get some sleep, go to bed early, save your marriage. Don't lose your mind. There are some people who have a nervous breakdown, and once you have a nervous breakdown, that has affected your relationship for a long time. So improve your sleep quality, manage your workload. That would help improve your desire for sex. And also you talk about therapy, get help. A lot of people don't want to get help. They wait till things get major issue. That is when they're going for help. No, get help from the people who will be able to help you in your situation. Don't neglect that. Alright, I think those are it. Yep. Marcia Saunders said, make time for sex, but nothing else that is important to your partner can cause problems in the relationship. Schedule intimacy. Yes. Schedule it. Yes, Sharon. I haven't seen you for a while, my dear. I miss you. And remember we say, Sharon, this is not scheduling sex, you know. This is scheduling intimacy. That is our time for affection, and sometimes we're just going out for lunch or dinner. That is intimacy. Go by the beach and sit down and talk and laugh. Yep. Hillary, you can simply say, I enjoy this time much better than the last time. Well, when you compare it, that creates a thing. They say, oh, the last time you didn't enjoy it, but I didn't know that. So I thought you did enjoy it, so you must be fake that one. So that is where the problem is when you make the comparison. But I agree with you, Hillary, if you say, I really enjoyed tonight. Just leave it for tonight. Just leave that one. Don't make no comparison with the other. And she went on to say, even if you can call them at work and remind them, I really enjoyed last night. Yep, I agree with that too. By that way, it will help for the next time around. Agreed. 100%. Joanne, you're now joining this class. What is this? So, we're talking about, some of you all prefer that we start at 9 o'clock. Right, Sharon? Yes. Okay. Glad that you got the point. Sexual dynamics in relationships are influenced by so many things that we said. Biology, society, your physiology, etc., your cognitive and your mental state, your stress levels, etc. But if you recognize the differences that you go through, what is normal and what might be a bit abnormal, then that is going to affect the way how the relationship runs. Learning to navigate them is important. How do you manage the relationship with your spouse? Do you need to research some more, read up some more, buy some books on intimacy to be able to increase your marital relationship and that connection? And do you need to get help additionally for your relationship? Alright? So, that's it for tonight, my dear people. I enjoyed having you all. Hey, Sharon. Hey, thank you very much. Yeah. Your train was late. Alright. Yes. Well, I'm happy that or missing was mutual. Thank you very much. Yes, Kenneth Hodge. Your night, the night is still young, and your time is going to come around sooner or later for that big day. Make sure you invite me for that big day, Kenneth. I am going to be looking out for it. Alright. People, it's 9 o'clock. Mike at Night. Thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing you next week, Thursday, for another interesting segment on Mike at Night with Michael Straw. Good evening now. Make sure you enjoy the rest of the week.
You've been faithful, Lord. You've been faithful.
Oh Lord, I'm glad you know my name. You set my heart aflame. You set my feet on a solid rock to stay. I'm glad I made this choice, given me a voice, and now I can rejoice.
Watch the gold move. They come and it's a diligent. When we meet up, please the Lord, I'm dining with the president. Thankful for my warriors who bring me through this testament. Calling on my warriors, calling on my warriors. Everything we put me out to doing it for 100. Time to praise the Lord, we say we praising him for 100. Working in the ministry, we working it for 100. Working it for 100. Working it for 100. Everything we put we out to doing it for 100. Time to praise the Lord, we say we praising him for 100. Working in the ministry, we working it for 100. Working it for 100.
Oh Lord, I'm glad you know my name. You set my heart aflame. You set my feet on a solid rock to stay. I'm glad I made this choice. You've given me a voice, and now I can rejoice.
DJ, turn that music up, yes, turn it up louder. Never make it stop, take the message to the border. This is how we do it, cause we talk the truth to power. Walking in the spirit, walking in the